Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, I'm here, Muhammad Abdullah Murad Chaudhary, Senior Lecturer, Department of Agriculture Studies, Milestone College, Uttara Dhaka. Let's go for today's online lecture.
Chapter 1, name is Agriculture of Bangladesh, and Section 1, Scope of Agriculture of Bangladesh. This is the second lecture of this section. Today, after watching this lecture, you are able to understand the importance of fish culture, systematic position of fish in animal kingdom, condict and osteichthyes fish characteristics and difference, classification of fish, importance of livestock animal, importance of poultry birds, and importance of social forest. This section is very important for CQ and MCQ. There will be lots of information regarding MCQ. Let's start the explanation. First of all, I'll discuss about the importance of fish culture in Bangladesh. You can get 2 marks questions in your CQ from these topics. Fishes supply about 63% of total animal protein required for the human body. That means we get 63% protein, animal protein, which we can get from the fish. Even recently, scientists studied that fisheries sector contributes about 4.91% of the total GDP of our country. And fisheries sector earns 5.1% of the total export earnings of Bangladesh. That means when we export fisheries item, that time we can earn about 5.1% of the total export earnings. Fish protein is easily digestible than that of the another animal protein. That means when you consume another protein, animal protein, that will be not consume digest easily, but fish protein digests easily. That is why always doctor or advised to consume fish protein. Fish farming serves as a source of employment. That means it's great employment opportunity as well. And even fish farming prevents overfishing, since fishes continue to reproduce as well. Fish farming helps in the reduction of the extinct of fish species of fish or other sea creatures. From the beginning of the earth, we have a look the lots of fish are present in the environment, but nowadays water bodies decreases. That way, fish species decreases as well. That means from the natural sources. But when you continue the fish farming, then you reproduce the increase of the fish species as well. Fish farming allows better uses of wetlands. That means when you doing the fish farming, that time you allow the fish water body will be better uses. Fishes are the source of healthy fatty acid, vitamin A, minerals, and iodine as well, basically in the sea fish. And almost 10% of our total population is directly and indirectly earning their livelihood from the fisheries sector. So fish culture in our country is very important for our human being. Then fishes are very good commodity for human consumption and can be processed in our various way. And multiple research studied that fatty acid help reduce many forms of cancer and promote healthy brain tissues. Eating fish regularly has also been shown to reduce the risk of heart disease through reducing the probability of clot formation, lowering blood pressure, and increase the good cholesterol levels in the blood stream. And this is very important for your MCQ. Now, the concept of fish and fisheries science. So, if you look, what is fisheries science? Fisheries science is a biological science which deals with the classification, culture, management, monitoring, reproduction, disease management of fish. Fisheries science also includes the culture and management of different edible and commercial valuable aquatic animals as well. For example, shrimp, lobsters, snails, tortoise, frogs. This two definition is very important for your knowledge based questions. So memorize this one very carefully. Even fisheries science has been redefined as the branch of applied biology or zoology dealing with the edible and economical important aquatic animals is morphology, life cycle, development, psychology, reproduction, rearing, preservation, transportation, marketing, and ecological management. If there is a questions like what is fisheries science, then you can explain any of them which I showed you now. Now, the definition of fish. Sometimes you can get this definition in your exam as a knowledge-based question. So this one is very important as well, which is fish is a cold-blooded aquatic vertebrate animal which take their respiration with gills. Is called fish. Example is rui, katla, hilsa, etc. So this one is important for your uh, CQ question as well. Next point is systematic position of fish in animal kingdom. This point is very important as well for your MCQ and CQ. So be careful and memorize this one very thoroughly. First one is phylum name is Chordata, and memorize the spelling as well. If the spelling is not correct, that then you can lose your marks as well. Subphylum Vertebrata. Superclass Gnathostomata. Have a look the spelling. Here is the G. First is G, which is the silent G, but the spelling is Gnathostomata, which is Gnathostomata. There is G is silent G, but make sure you memorize this spelling very carefully. If you mistake this spelling, then you will lose the marks. Then class is Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. So this is the systematic position of fish in animal kingdom. Next is, now we will details explain the Osteichthyes fish class and Chondrichthyes fish class. Now the first is characteristics of Osteichthyes class of fish. Internal skeleton of such fish is bony in nature. First, if I first give you the example, then you can easily understand, which is Osteichthyes fish class example is the sweet water or freshwater fish, which is rui, katla. This type of fish is the Osteichthyes class, where their internal skeleton of fish, such fish is bony in nature. Then mouth cavity is situated on the dorsal front of the head. Then presence of operculum, it covers the four pair of gills of the both side of the its head. Then fish body is covered with circular tiny scales, which you can fishes are not scaly. That means you can observe the scale very and then the tail fin is equally bifid, air vesicle is present. Then at last the example which I give you at first as well, which is almost all fishes like the sweetwater fish like rui, katla, mrigal, magur, shing, papda is called Osteichthyes classes of fish. If you have a look the picture, they is very easily understandable the Osteichthyes classes of fish. Have a look. This is the figure or picture of rui fish. If you have a look here, the mouth cavity in the dorsal part in front of the head. Then here this is inside the four pairs of gills, and the cover is called operculum. And you can observe the scale here as well. And the tail, if you have a look, the tail is equally bifid. This one here and this one here. So if you imagine the example of Osteichthyes fish like rui fish, then you can easily identify the characteristics. Next one is Chondrichthyes classes of fish. again, if I give you the example like shark, so this is the example of condistics fish, which is basically the marine water or sea fish. So if you imagine the shark, then you can understand the uh, characteristics of condistics fish, which is internal skeleton of such fish is cardiologist in nature. Then mouth cavity is situated ventrally below the head. Then operculum is absent. There are 5 to 7 pair of gill pores on the both side of its head. Then fish body is covered with microscopic plaquette scales. Then tail fin is unequally bifid. Then air basically absent, but there are spiral valves in the intestines. And then at last the example, which is I told you before: shark, salmon, cod, trigon, torpedo, etc. Here, if you have a look the picture of an example of Condithyes class of fish, which is shark. If you have a look, the mouth cavity not in the dorsal part, below the head, looks like this. And then if you have a look the tail, this one is not equally bifid, and his scale you cannot observe the scales. His microscope is placoid, and then there is no operculum and gills, but gills pores is present. Here you say 5 to 7, 1 2 3 4 5 to 7, and here is 5 to 7. So if you imagine the example of Condythyes fish like shark, then you can easily explain the characteristics of Condythyes classes of fish. Now, classification of fish. First one is according to type of skeleton, which is cartilaginous genus fish like shark, salmon, cod. That means they scale this type of marine fish. Next study is bony fish, where the skeleton is bony in nature, which is koi, tangra, etc. Next one is according to presence of scale. That means a scale present or a scale not present, which is scaly fish like rui fish, katla fish, etc. Where the scale is tenoid or cycloid. Next one is no scale present, which is non-scaly fish, which is example is catfish. There is this scale present, but we cannot seen with naked eyes. We have to seen is with the microscope, which is called microscopic placoid scale, which is shing, magur, etc. Next one is according to the habitat. That means the first one is freshwater fish or sweetwater fish, which is rui, katla. Then semi-saline water fish, which is fish living in the transitional or estuary water, which is vetki, poa, loita, coral. Then saline water fish, which is ilsha, rupchanda, bele, datina, etc. Next is according to presence of barbels, which is uh, presence of antennate and not antennate, which is first one is fish having barbels on their mouth like shing, magur, which is present the antennate. And then next one is non-antennate fish. Example is rui and katla. Now, I will discuss a little bit about the concept of livestock. If I give you the example first, then you can easily understand, which is cattle like cow, buffalo, sheep, goat are including in livestock, which is if I give you the definition like a group of animals which are reared at in-house environment with a view to achieve economic or recreational benefits are called livestock animals. This one is important for your knowledge based question in creative questions for 1 marks and example as well. Now, importance of livestock in our country. This is quite difficult to explain the importance of livestock in our country in this short lecture. This is huge importance of livestock animal. Uh, First one is livestock in agriculture. That means if I explain the importance of livestock in agriculture sector, then it's quite large, like draft power, then for harvesting, then for transportation of agriculture product, plowing, then uh, rearing of animal. This type of importance we can get from the livestock. So Importance of livestock is very very important in agriculture sector. Next one is livestock in food production. Like we can get food from the livestock. For example, is uh, if I say like we eat meat product like burger, then we eat different type of intestine of food, and it gives the nutrition value as well. Uh, Livestock in earning foreign currency and national income. Like for example, is hide and seek or leather. If we can get lots of foreign currency to export the leather and leather product and increase the national income. uh, Livestock in industry, like I said, if we produce the leather products in our country, then we build lots of industry like leathers. Even we soap industry, which we make from the livestock fat. This type of industry we produce or you in our country, like soup industry, then bag industry, etc. Livestock is self-employment and poverty elevation. When we make industry, food product industry, agriculture sector, then this will decrease the poverty and decrease the unemployment opportunity. So increase the employment. Even some people, when they rear cattle or goat or as a self-employment, then increase the self-employment and quantity. So this is the importance of livestock. Then conserving environmental balance. For instance, livestock eat like cow, buffalo eat wastage materials of our environment. This will help to balance the environment as well from the pollution of environment. So this is the importance of animal livestock in our country. Next is concepts of poultry birds. What is poultry birds? Example of poultry birds is chicken, ducks, pigeon, geese, titty, quail, turkey. So the definition will be the domestic birds which are used to reproduce under the direct supervision of human being and serve economic benefits to us are called poultry birds. And the birds are rare to obtain eggs and meat of for human consumption. Then what will be the importance of poultry birds? It supply nutrients, and different nutrients we can get from the poultry. Uh, mm, Doctor always said that, for a patient and eat them soup like chicken soup or pigeon soup, for this which provide lots of nutrients. Economic importance, we can earn or export lots of poultry product and poultry to the foreign currency and earning economic solvency, and national income will be increase even in our country. Lots of poultry farm like for a broiler layer, then pigeon farm, then quail farm as well increase in our country, which is really increase the national income. Then as a means of employment, when you increase the farm or the industry, then lots of people involved in this sector, like not only directly and even indirectly, like transport, selling, bile, etc. Then concept of social forest. What is social forest? Social forest, lots of plants are grown in the homestead, insular premise, roadside, unused lands other than the natural forest. Then it called social forest. That means this is planted by artificially for the participation of human being. On the important of for factors of social forest is that rural people can directly take part in growing this kind of forest for earning their livelihood, even in the barren places of natural hill forest and plain land forest. So this is called social forest. And the purpose or the importance of social forest will be rehabilitate and improvement of the evacuated natural forest areas, especially the plainland forest of Madhupur, Bhawal, and hill tracts of Sylhet district. And proper utilization of forest lands, like poor people can increase their productive of forest and land by introducing agroforest, and then extend the forest resources by proper utilization of the marginal and unused lands, and then increase supply of fuel wood by planting multi-purpose trees around the homestead. Then reduce poverty by employing idle labor forces as well, like man, woman, everybody. Then create awareness among people for huge tree plantation, protect them, and developing the environment through training and motivation, and appoint skilled people in all levels to serve sector as well. So this is all about today's this section lecture, which is very important for your CQ and MCQ. So this type of MCQ question you can get from this section, which is explain of semi-saline water fish, like name of semi-saline water fish like vetki. Then CQ question, explain the poultry birds importance of our country, which you can get for 2 marks.
My dear students, thank you very much for watching today's online lecture. If you got any problem, contact your subject teacher. They must help you. Thank you very much.